Namaste. My name is Pim. Welcome to Yoga for Athletes, Swimmers Edition. Not a swimmer? That's okay. We'll be practicing on dry land. I'll be requesting an unusual prop to be used for today's practice, and that is a large bowl, big enough so that you can face into, filled maybe 3/4 or 2/3 of the way with water. So you may want to pause the video so you can grab the bowl. In addition, grab your pull buoy if you have one, or you can use a yoga block, or we'll just use our imagination. So why yoga for swimmers? Well, yoga lends itself very well to the sport of swimming. In yoga, we practice a controlled breathing called pranayama. And as you know, for the swimmers out there, proper breathing technique is so critical to not only a comfortable swim, but also an efficient swim. And both in yoga and in swimming, we are working on moving the full body in this coordinated effort with our breath. The core is important for balancing in yoga, not only on our hands, in arm balances or standing balances, but also for swimmers. As we rotate and float our body over the water, we're using our core to maintain that balance in the water. Proprioception, which is our awareness of our body in space. Really important in yoga, in our postures, knowing where our limbs are without being able to see them. Swimming, we work really hard on our hand placement. I really work on not crossing over my hands and really reaching out in front and rotating our bodies. So we spend a lot of time reviewing videos or having our coaches work on us on proper form. And not only is proper form important, but flexibility is really important in swimming, as well as range of motion, not only in the shoulders, but all the way down to the feet. And yoga has really helped me, especially as a new swimmer, to overcome some of my fears and anxiety in swimming in open waters. And even some of my competitive swimming friends who are used to having that line underneath them that they can see in a pool may have a moment of panic out in the open waters, not being able to see, your hand in front of you, choppy waters, and just knowing that you're out in this big lake or the ocean can really cause the mind to talk a lot. And so having a mindfulness practice, a breathing exercise, really helps to calm the mind so that we can get out there and have a really good swim and actually find swimming very meditative. So with that, let's begin with a breathing exercise. So we're going to imagine there's water in this bowl in front of me, but you're going to have some real water, right? And so we begin by dipping our chin down into the bowl with our nose above the water and just getting comfortable here. And I do this when I'm first coming back into my swimming practice in open waters. I may dip into the water, maybe waist high, feeling the water, maybe squatting down and just getting my face nice and low, listening to the breath, and just allowing my breath to be normal, listening to the water, listening, and then watching, and just observing as I exhale the movement of the water. Noticing how, as I exhale, maybe the ripples on top of the water surface, and how it feels on my chin, on my face. And then I might practice, once I'm comfortable with this, maybe inhaling out of the corner of my mouth and then exhaling through the nose. And in swimming, it's an abrupt inhalation, right? Because we don't have a whole lot of time. So we're taking a quick inhalation, but we want a slow, controlled, and smooth exhalation out of the nose. So as you do that, and you exhale, can you smooth that breath? And then once you're comfortable with that, maybe you might want to explore. Bring your chin and the tip of your nose down. And then practice turning your head, inhaling into the corner of the mouth, and then exhaling. This time with your nose down into the water and observing the sound, the bubbles. And what we want here, we don't want an abrupt agitation of the water. We want these tiny, smooth bubbles. And you might want to even count to 4 as you exhale. And you may even try on both sides for those of you who may want to practice bilateral breathing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe increasing it to 5. So you want to practice that, maybe in the bowl, and then move when we're able to out into the pool or into the open waters, practicing that until it becomes almost mundane, like a habit, like you're on autopilot and comfortable. So that's how we get better at swimming. We first have to get really comfortable in the water, which is something that I struggle with every season, every time I go into the pool or step into the lake. So let's set our bowls aside and either seated on our heels as I was before, or we can grab a block or a bolster or a pillow and come to a comfortable seated position of your choice, lengthening from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head, gently closing your eyes, rolling your shoulders away from your ears, relaxing the shoulders, softening the face. And we allow our breath to come back to its natural state. And we just watch our breath, observing its length, watching where it goes, without doing anything. Gently blink your eyes open. Let's come to our hands and our knees. Lining up the wrist right below the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, knees right underneath the hips. Begin with an inhalation, setting your tailbone up. And then one vertebrae at a time, can we slowly drop our belly down, sliding our chest forward. Chin comes up last, but in a way that we're not just throwing our head back. This is the shape of cow. On the exhale, we try to articulate our vertebrae by sending our tailbone down and rounding one vertebra at a time. Belly button reaches for the sky, and we tuck our chin down last in the shape of cat. And when we're ready, we begin again. Tailbone up, belly comes down, sliding the chest forward. Exhale, back into cat shape. Moving in a way where you begin the movement with the breath and ending it just before the breath. So we're not rushing, just as we try to do when we're swimming. And then come to stillness with a neutral spine. the right, and then over to the left. So kind of bending over to the side, kind of like a dog shaking its tail, left and right. And then coming to neutral, I'm going to practice a controlled articulation of the cervical spine. So begin by just looking down at the ground. Neck is in a neutral position. And begin by dropping your chin down towards your sternum, towards your chest. And we're going to trace our chin over the right collarbone. I'm going to go to the left so I can mirror you. Slowly and smoothly until you arrive just in front of the shoulder. And then we're going to tilt our head right above our shoulder, like a little head tilt, without moving our shoulder. The only part that's going to really move is your head and your neck. Then we're going to draw a rainbow, reaching the head back until your left ear is above the shoulder, and then we drop our chin down in front of the shoulder and trace that left collarbone back to center. Let's go the other way. Over towards your left. And so what we're doing is we're tracing a circle, yeah? Making rotations with our neck. And we're trying to do it in a way that's nice and smooth, not pinching, but exploring our range of motion with the cervical spine. So continue in both directions. For at least 3 cycles, and 3 cycles mean both directions. And for the last couple, see if you can, without causing any pinching or pain in the neck, see if you can make it slightly bigger circle. And then when you're finished, coming back to neutral. Now let's sit back onto our heels. And for some of us, this may not be that comfortable. So we can grab a block or a book and place it right underneath, or you may even take a blanket, roll it up, fold it up, and place it right behind your knees. Getting comfortable here, draw the belly to spine, lengthen the spine up as we practice some controlled articulation of the shoulders, really important for swimming. So I'm going to begin with my left shoulder so I can mirror you, and you're going to be starting with your right shoulder. And begin by drawing the belly in and creating a little bit of tension inside the body. You might even make like a soft fist with your left hand. Extending your right arm out in front, shoulder height, thumb faced up, strong and straight. Take an inhalation, extending your star arm up to the sky without raising your shoulders. So we want to have the movement come from the shoulder. You're kind of come to the point where you're stuck. You can't go back any further. So here we begin to internally rotate the arm so that we can gain a little bit of movement. And we want to move along the same plane. So imagine there's a wall here. So I'm going to try to move in the same plane, not extending my arm out too far, but really trying to stay in this plane. As I internally rotate the hand, oh, now I can reach back, reaching back, trying to stay in the plane. And I keep bringing my hand back until I come back by my waist. Maybe my knuckle is facing towards my hip. Let's trace that same path in the opposite direction, reaching with the thumb back. Again, getting to a point where you feel a little stuck, begin to, this time, externally rotate the arm, and then now we can reach up like we're painting the ceiling. And again, I'm trying not to allow my arm to come out too wide, but we're gonna come into the same plane, same path that I made going back, and then come back to forward. And let's try it again. Inhaling, reaching up. You might take a few breaths because it takes a slow movement that's longer than our breath. Reaching back, coming around. And I'm trying to have the movement come from my shoulder without twisting my spine to help with the effort. One more time, reaching up, internal rotation, reach back there. Reach back like you're grabbing a note from your classmate behind you, you don't want the teacher to see. And then reaching back again, grab that note or grab that baton. This time externally rotating, like painting the ceiling with the sky with their hands and the fingertips. And coming back. Let's try the other arm. Create a little tension inside the body. Extend your left arm, so my right arm up front, thumb face up. Reach up for the sky. Get to that sticky point. We begin internal rotation so that we can continue reaching back there. Reaching back there and still wringing out my arm. Coming back. And then the opposite direction, reaching back. This time externally rotating, reaching up. And again, let's do it 2 more times, reaching up. Internal rotation, reaching back, reach far back. And for the last round, can we see if we can reach just a little bit further, reaching back. And this is something you might even, as a swimmer, practice every day. And you can challenge yourself by standing along the wall too, to see how close you can get to the wall, and maybe you can decrease that distance between the arm and the wall. See if you can try to clear the wall. And you might see Michael Phelps do this, see swimmers do this on their blocks before swim. So what are they doing here? They're protracting, retracting, protracting, retracting. So let's begin by inhaling, send the arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, palms face up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hands at heart center. And then let's interlace the fingers again. And then we're protracting the shoulder blades, drawing them apart from one another. And then release. Inhale, send the arms up to the sky. Let's cactus the arms out and draw the shoulder blades together behind you and down towards your tailbone, lifting the heart up. So now we're retracting, drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting up the heart. Inhale, send the arms up, neutral spine. Exhale, hands at heart center. And release. Again, focusing on the shoulder for this practice. Let's, again, extend the right arm out in front. This time you can make a soft fist, or you can have your fingers extended, thumb up. And create a little bit of tension, soft tension inside the body, maybe a soft fist with your left hand. And we're gonna come into a protraction and retraction, as well as elevation and depression of the shoulders. And so I wanted you to do it with both arms, so you can feel it inside the body. But now we're gonna isolate one arm at a time. So we begin by protracting, so we bring our shoulder blades forward. And now can we elevate the shoulders? So elevate that shoulder up. And now retract, draw it back. And then down. Keep trying to keep that arm straight. And then forward. And then up. Retract. Depress. Forward. Up. Retract. Depress. Again, forward. forward, up, retract, depress. Can we go the opposite way? Can we go back, retract, up, forward, down? And see if you can do it nice and smooth. One more time. Back, up, forward, release. Other arm. Create a little bit of tension. Extend your left arm, my right arm out in front. Begin by protracting, elevation, retraction, depressing, protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. A couple more times so you can do it nice and smooth. And then go the opposite way. Can we retract? Can we elevate? Can we protract? And depression. Retract, elevate, protract. A couple more times. At your own pace. And just relax the shoulders. So that scapular movement after shoulder blades. Really good mobility exercise for the swimmers. Really important swimming, yeah? So now, flexibility I mentioned in the feet is really important too. So some of you might find that being seated in this shape is just plenty on a block. Again, you can have a blanket underneath. But if you're able to progress from here, and if you're able to sit without a block underneath you and on to your heels, see if you can come here. That's a big stretch at the top of the feet. Really important swimmer, right? Those are our flippers in swimming. And so you may want to sit with your knees forward. Some of us, may sit with our knees wide. And this is with the knees together, seated back here. This is the thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana. And again, maybe widen the knees a little bit. And if you're comfortable here, you might explore deepening this stretch a little bit. And maybe gently resting back onto your hands, lengthening the spine so that we're not too much weight on the shoulders. We're not causing any impingement in the shoulders or in the spine. And reaching back, and you may even explore lifting your knees up. And if you Google dry land swimming exercises, you might find a video of some swimmers who are super flexible in their feet, who can lift their knees up real high, or even some yogis, and maybe even sit back on their toes, even grabbing and balancing their hands on their knees like so. How does that feel? I know it's really intense. And now, I've even seen, I can't do this, but maybe, can you come to your feet from this position? And I've seen, so this is when we're streamlining, right? This is why shoulder flexibility is really important, because you don't want the head here, you want the head below. So you create this nice flow of water, allow for the water to slip over the body. But can you streamline? And I'm not going to be able to do it, obviously, without stepping one foot on and the other to help myself up. Come to standing. So Google it. It's really kind of fun to see. All right, so let's kind of bring our feet forward in a seated position and kind of roll our ankles out a little bit and our feet. Maybe our ankles are going to talk to us. And then let's grab a hold with the back of your right thigh with one arm, and then leaning back, holding on to the top of your shin with your foot elevated, maybe like 3 or 4 inches off the ground. Begin by flexing the foot up. And then can we externally rotate that foot, this is your right foot, over towards your right, and then coming down, creating a circle. And we're trying to keep the shin pretty stable and forward, so that's why we have the hand here to give us feedback. So we're just trying to articulate from the ankle. And then when you come down, can you point your toes down, and then over to the left and come back up. So we're making circles here, like you're scraping a bowl with your foot. Taking your time, making circles, and then going in the opposite direction. Can you hear that? My ankle talking to me. And then lower that foot down onto your other ankle. Again, pressing the foot up. Let's begin with external rotation. Toes go over to your left, point them down, and then in, and then up. Maybe 5 times in one direction. Taking your time. And then the other direction. So you're pointing as you go down, flex as you go up. And then slowly lower the foot down. Now let's shake it out. Leaning back onto your elbows. I'm just gonna shake out the feet. Just shake them out, nice and loose. Keep shaking, shake them out. And then let's come back to our hands and our knees. Stamp your hand, one hand print in front. Tuck the toes underneath. Firm the belly of the spine. We're going to broaden our shoulders here. Pressing through the knuckles of the hands. Inhale here. Maybe lift the kneecaps up just a little bit. And on your exhale, maybe keeping the knees bent to start, we're going to come into our first downward dog. And here, we're not so concerned about lengthening our legs and straightening them. We just want to focus on the spine, allowing the ears to fall in between the arms, reaching the hips up, belly reaching towards the thigh. We might be on our toes. And then begin to pedal the feet out, one leg at a time. And we notice our breath. Inhaling and exhaling out of the nose. And then coming to stillness. Push this out of the way so you can see my toes. Reaching up. Coming onto our tippy toes. Can you keep the hips where they are and then send the heels down towards the earth? They may or may not reach. Getting this good stretch of the Achilles. Back of the hamstrings, back of the legs. And an exhalation, we slowly tiptoe towards the back of our hands, bending our knees a lot so that we may touch our belly to our thighs, grabbing the opposite elbows and just letting gravity take hold of the elbow tips, releasing the head, releasing the jaw, being a rag doll. And after a few breaths here, we may explore firming our feet into the earth and shifting our weight to the outside of each foot, allowing the upper body to simply follow the movement in the legs. And coming to stillness, placing the hands on the shins. Inhale, slide your chest forward, creating a flattish back, but long neck, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, we fold forward again, releasing the hands down to the ground. You can always use a block underneath the hands. Firming your foot into the ground in a way that you feel your sit bones widen. Inhale, using your glutes and your abs to rise up, sweeping the arms out to the side. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands at heart center. And we release by the side. Standing in mountain pose. Now step your feet a little wider. Maybe just shy of as wide as your mat. And we interlace our hands behind us again, drawing the shoulder blades down our back towards our tailbone. Inhale, lifting up the heart. Exhale, we fold forward, hinging at the hips, reaching the hands back, up and over, releasing the head. And we try to also touch their lower belly against some part of our upper thigh, so that we are lengthening in the spine. And noticing the areas in our body we are holding on to a little tension. Maybe it's in our face. And can we soften the face, soften the jaw, and our next out breath, can we reach our hands up and over just a little bit more. Pausing here. And again, one more time, can we reach our hands up and over on the next exhale with a soft face. And releasing the hands in between our feet, shoulder width apart, stepping back into a plank. And pausing here in a plank with our shoulders right above our wrist, high on the ball of the feet, mushrooming that space in between our shoulders, going long from the crown of the head through the tailbone. On your next out breath, exhale, send your hips up back to downward dog. Inhale, extend the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale, right knee to the right wrist. Inhale, extend the right leg back up. Exhale, right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, extend the right leg back up. Exhale. Knee to the tricep, or can you even find your armpit? Inhale, extend the right leg up. And looking beyond your hands, can we step that right foot in between the hands, rising up to warrior one. Hips are square here in warrior one, knee right above the ankle. Maybe take a moment to draw that right hip back. Extending the arms over the head, finding the four corners of that left foot. Left leg is trying to be straight, and maybe we press through the outside of that left foot a little bit so that we can maintain that arch in the left foot. Cactus the arms out to the side. Inhale, lift up the heart. Shoulder blades drawing down the back. Inhale, extend the arms up, straighten the right leg. And again, we interlace the hands behind us, drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears. And hips remain square as we inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward over the right thigh at our hip crease. Into the shape of pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Releasing the head, lengthening the spine. Staying here for 5 breaths. On your next inhale, begin to bend the right knee, coming onto the ball of the left foot. Now we begin to shift our weight to the right foot, coming into warrior three with a long spine, reaching the hands back still.
Option to grab the opposite elbows. Can you float that left leg up, keeping the hips somewhat square? Spine is nice and long, reaching the hands back. 5 breaths here. With control, exhale, we lower the left foot back down, rising up to warrior one. Like nothing happened. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Now, option to come to downward dog right away, or we can take our vinyasa, which is a step back into a plank. Exhale, lowering down. Chaturanga. Maybe inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths here. An option to come to child's pose here. And inhale, we extend the left leg up to the sky. Watch out for furniture. Left knee, left wrist. Inhale, extend the left leg up to the sky. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend the left leg up to the sky. Left knee, left armpit or tricep, what can you find? Inhale, leg extends up, look past our hands. Can we step that foot in between the hands? Pivot right heel down. Rising up, inhale. Warrior one. Settling into the shade belly spine. Cactusing the arms, shoulder blades draws together and down. Inhale, lift up the heart. Inhale, extend the arms up to the sky. Straighten out the left leg. And we interlace the opposite thumb on top behind us. Again, option to grab the opposite elbows. And inhale, lifting up the heart. Exhale, we fold forward over the left thigh. Releasing the head, lengthening through the crown of the head, through the spine. And when you're ready, begin to bend the left knee, shifting the weight, floating the right leg up to warrior three on the other side. Gently landing the right foot down, back to warrior one. Exhale, release the hands down. And we step back into a plank. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And the next inhalation, extend the right leg up to the sky. Again, right knee, right wrist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow, armpit or tricep, what can you find? Inhale, extend. Exhale, step the foot through, this time rising up to warrior two, which is an open stance. Wider stance. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see me. The right foot is parallel to the side of the mat, pointed forward. Back foot, left foot, is parallel to the back side of the mat. And we're pressing through the outside of that back foot. Right knee comes to 90 degrees. And you might even have room to open this up a little more. Setting your thigh a little bit more parallel to the earth. And notice the right knee, if it's tracking over the middle toes, or do we need to externally rotate, extend the arms front and back. And we give ourselves a hug with the right arm over the left arm, protracting the shoulder blades again. Either staying here or we come into eagle arms, wrapping the forearms, but we can stay here. On your exhale, we bow forward, humble warrior, inside the right thigh. Staying here for 5 breaths. And then inhaling, rising up. And this time we lift our elbows up. A little upper back bend, staying low in the right knee, tendency is to come up. And then releasing the arms back to warrior pose. Bend your right elbow, coming to extended side ankle, gently resting the elbow on top of the thigh. Left hand comes onto the hip. And we extend the left arm up to the sky. Belly is facing the wall in front of you, at me, the camera. And we're attempting to stack the shoulders on top of one another. And now, like we're swimming, can we reach our arm overhead? Isn't this swimming? We're on the side body, reaching over, sweeping the arm down. We don't have to worry about high elbows here because we're not in the water. Reaching up, and down and around, feeling that stretch. Two more times. We want to maintain that length through the crown of our head, the neck and head extension of our spine, yeah? Send the arms up. And then releasing the hands back down to the mat, framing the right foot. We step back into a plank. And you know the sequence. Exhale if you'd like, coming all the way down to the belly. And cobra or upward dog. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, we tuck our toes, walking our toes towards our head. And option to go through child's pose or pushing up or straight into downward dog. Whatever feels right for you. We stay here for 5 breaths, so maybe you have 2 or 3 more to go. And inhale, extend the left leg up to the sky. Left knee, left wrist. Last time for this sequence. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee. Finding your armpit or your tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, look past your hands. And we step our foot in between the hands. Turn, pivot the right heel. Down, setting up for warrior 2 on the other side. And can we, instead of leaning forward, become a little bit more upright in the spine. Sinking down into our left knee, which is maybe a little bit externally rotated, so it's tracking right above our toes. And here we bring the left arm over the right as we hug ourselves in. Option to come to eagle arms, or we stay here. And we exhale, we bow forward, humble warrior, inside the left thigh. And we're supporting ourselves here. We're not just kind of leaning into the left thigh completely. We still have the core engaged. Body strong, legs are strong. Inhale, we rise up. And can we inhale, send the elbows up to the sky, inviting an upper back bend. Releasing that effort, extend the arms out, back to warrior 2, bending the left elbow. And maybe we start with our right hand on our right wrist, long through the crown of the head. almost rolling our right shoulder back. And maybe we extend the right arm up to the sky. And again, we swim. We take a swim stroke. We reach over, down, and around. 4 more times. Right over our ear. Finding that path. Reaching for the water. Hands maybe go back on the hip for a moment. And we release our hands down, framing the foot, pivoting to the front of the mat. And stepping back. Option to do last chaturanga or come to child's pose. Maybe we exhale. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, rolling over our toes. And do downward dog. And we complete 5 breaths here. Notice your fingers are spread nice and wide, pressing to the knuckles of the hands. On your next exhale, lowering down to your knees. Let's slide all the way down to the belly. And before you do that, actually, let's grab your pull buoy or block, or you don't have one, that's okay. Coming all the way down to the belly. Toes pointed back. We're going to extend our arms out in front, the pull buoy off to the side. Just resting the forehead down to begin with. And can you gently press through the top of your feet, through your toenails, through the top of the feet, in a way that you can lift your kneecaps off of the mat just a little bit. And begin to firm the pelvis down into the mat. Then pressing down to the belly, can you inhale, peel your chest with a long neck up, just looking forward just a little bit. Maybe we come on to our fingertips, just looking forward. Using the strength of our back. Another breath here. Exhale, we lower down. Send your arms out to the side. Can we do the same thing, pressing through the top of the feet? Feel the activation in your lower back muscles. Kneecaps are lifted up. Pressing through the pelvis, through the belly. Inhale, peel your chest up. And maybe we're just on our fingertips here. Exhale, lowering down to the forehead. Bring the hands by the side of the body. We begin again. Pressing down to the top of the feet, belly. Inhale, peel the chest up. Maybe here we explore maybe floating our hands up, reaching back. And maybe we explore floating our feet up. Can we float our feet up in a way that we're trying to bring our big toes together? They may not touch, that's okay, but we're kind of like flying here. We're not trying to kind of throw our head back. We're just looking forward, drawing our shoulders away from the ears in the shape of locust. And then lower down to one cheek. Maybe resting, you can either rest your forehead on the back of your arms, bend your knees, windshield, wipe your feet back and forth, left and right. Come to stillness, lower the feet down. Let's grab your pull buoy, your block, or we'll just use our imagination. Let's start with it on the top of the mat. Palms facing one another, thumbs up, toes pointed back. We begin by inhaling, pressing through the pelvis. Can we elevate our feet back, reaching back? elevate, can we inhale, gently holding on to our pull buoy, or with the arms extended in front of us with nothing in front of us. Inhale, lifting up, reaching forward. Now holding on to the pull buoy with the right hand, can we extend it out to the side, like we're flying, like an airplane. And then we bring it by the side of the body and holding on to it behind us for an extra breath. And then letting go with the right hand, just holding on, transferring to the left hand, out like an airplane, back to the top of the mat for an extra breath. Let's go the opposite way. Can we extend arms out to the side, out and back. Your legs shaking. Arms out to the side, out to the front. And exhale, release. Maybe rest on the other cheek, or again, hands can go on the back of your hands on top of one another. And we release our back by windshield wiping the feet. How about doing that for a few more times? Lucky for you, I've got a time restraint on this video. But certainly you can do more. Lower the feet down. Place your hands by the rib cage. Let's push ourselves back into a child's pose. Bring your big toes together. Widen their knees a little bit to make room for the belly as we lower the forehead down to the mat. And just allow our breath to come back to its natural state. And you might even choose to have a little bit more passive child's pose, restorative, by bringing the arms by the side of the body with palms faced up. And you can always put a block underneath the head too, if it's more comfortable for you. And if the arms are by the side of the body, slowly extend them out to the front. And then with the fingers reaching towards the top of the mat, can we bring the palms to touch together, thumbs face up, in the shape of prayer, right over your head, just resting on the mat. And we might create a little bit more tension in the arms as we draw the elbows a bit closer towards our head. Can we press down through the elbows, press our palms together, and send our fingers towards the sky behind our head? And maybe we can go even further, placing our thumbs on the back of the nape of our neck. Couple more breaths here. And slowly on your next out breath, bring the hands behind the head. Let's brace yourself up, the feet down onto the mat. And just give ourselves a little hug. Hug our knees in, sitting up nice and tall now. Can you release your arms out in front? And on your exhale, slowly lower one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the mat with control. You're coming to rest on your back. And if you have your pull buoy handy, again, it's not necessary, but it might feel good to have that pull buoy. Go ahead and place it in between the knees with your feet floating and your shins parallel to earth, so you're creating a 90 degree, like you're sitting on a chair that's on its back. Arms extended out to a T. Maybe tuck your shoulder blades in a little bit so you feel that openness in the collarbone. And we take an inhale here. On the exhale, can we bring the knees over to the right, maybe 1/3 of the way. Inhale, we bring it back up. Again, exhale 1/3 of the way. Inhale, back up. Exhale 2/3 of the way. Slowly. Inhale, back up. Exhale 2/3 of the way. time, exhale slowly. See if we can bring it all the way down to the ground. And maybe we need another block or a blanket underneath the right knee. But if you're comfortable here, take your time, and maybe you don't even need a block or the pull buoy here. You can remove it if you like. And see if you can relax that left shoulder blade down to the mat. And we can explore if it feels right to turn our head over to the left. And we just use our breath on the exhale to soften the body. Noticing that there's any areas in the body where we're holding on to tension. And if there's room to soften on our next exhale. On the next inhale, slowly bring your head back to center. And then we inhale, bring your knees back to center as well. And we begin again on the other side. Inhaling here. Exhale, knee 1/3 of the way, very gently. Inhale back. Exhale to the left, 1/3 of the way. Inhale back. Exhale 2/3 of the way, slowly with your breath. Inhale, coming back. You have to adjust the pace to your breath, right? Because we're using the same length of breath. Exhale. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Can we touch down? And we learn to do that in swimming too, right? Adjusting our breath to the pace of our swim. And maybe on this side it feels a little different. Can we touch down the right shoulder? And I have scoliosis, so spinal twists feels really different on both sides, really different. Particularly because I have a twist in my upper spine. Maybe the head turns to the right. Maybe we close our eyes, and again, can we soften the body? Allow it to relax in this shape. Then on the next inhalation, head returns to center. And use your next inhale to bring the knees back to center. Release the hold. And slowly we extend one leg at a time onto the mat. Arms by the side of the body, palms face up. In the shape of Shavasana. Feel free to grab a blanket to cover yourselves up, or place a folded blanket underneath the head. And we allow our breath to come back to its natural state. And maybe we imagine what it feels like after a good open water swim. Can you remember a time when you had a particularly soothing or fast or efficient or meditative swim? And then imagine after that swim how the body feels, how the breath is allowed to come back to its natural state, no longer controlled by you. And then maybe imagine laying on a beach, allowing the body to go heavy and sinking into the sand. And imagining what that imprint of your body would look like in the sand.
And can we hear the sound of our own breath? Flowing into the body like a wave and leaving the body like water as it recedes from the shore. Inhaling, in comes the wave of air, and exhaling as it recedes without doing anything on its own, watching our breath as though we can watch it like we watch the waves flow in and out. Softening the jaw. Is there an opportunity to soften any other parts of the body? In our face, in our belly, in our toes. Invite a couple deep breaths into the belly. Inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. And deep inhalation into the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Invite gentle movement to your fingertips and your toes. Sending the arms over the head. Stretching up from head to toe. Rolling up the wrists. Rolling out the ankles. And slowly drawing one foot at a time onto the mat. Rolling over to your favorite side. And resting on one arm. Curling up a little. Enjoying the process of waking up. And when you're ready, with your eyes still closed, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position of your choice. Taking a moment to notice the effects of your practice on both the mind and the body. I invite you to gather your hands at heart center in a symbol of gratitude. I'm grateful for you. And we seal our practice here. Taking an inhalation. Exhale, we bow our heads down. Namaste. Thank you.